one who is severely handicapped needs to fear that they will get paid any less. In fact, they're going to see an increase. We want them to be able to earn more money before losing their benefits. And we're hearing a lot of support in the disabilities community.
This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports. This province is the only province that is actually expanding disability supports.
AISH Actions Revolutionary Podcast.
Chantal and Gavin.
You have now entered the no bullshit zone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Monday edition of AISH Actions Revolutionary Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. I had a fabulous weekend, but that paled in comparison to what Friday was. And Chantal and I are going to get into that. For you, those of you who were at the protest at the legislature, we couldn't thank you enough for being there. What a time, man. What a great emotional collective moment that was for me. I think I realized something new about myself as well, and I think everybody there seemed to love the engagement that was this protest. It got a little loud, it got very proud, and we were extremely amazed by it. So I have some B-roll of that, and I'm going to roll that in a few minutes. But first, how you doing, Chantal?
Awesome. I'm doing good.
Good.
Oh, we're just back to the grind. It's Monday, and of course, school's back in, and I'm dealing with a whole bunch of the bureaucratic BS there. So, fun stuff.
Oh yeah. And what a weekend, huh? What a weekend.
Pardon?
What a weekend, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I talking low today? Do I need to crank me?
Oh no, I had to turn up my headset.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, what a weekend. What a glorious, fabulous moment. A lot came out of that. Of course, what do we have? 40, 50 people, I think, right?
I think we were closer to the 40 mark.
Okay. So 30 to 40 people. But I'll tell you what, it was pretty strong. It was amazingly, how can I say this? Aromatic? No, that's the wrong word. It was just stunning to see that many people out there that wanted to take part in something of this nature. And of course, who wouldn't? It's only affecting 80,000 people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some stuff today. Is there anything on your mind necessarily, Chantal?
Well, there were some new releases as soon as I got back from the protest. Of course, I couldn't rest with the Neudorf escalation here. He's now taken over as the assisted living and social services minister in place of Nixon, who is now our finance minister.
Okay. Yep.
So I think I've already kind of shown everybody my hand. I like to do the inclusive approach there. So there is now a do you know your Neudorf flyer and Minister Neudorf document that goes along with it, just to kind of let you know more about who it is that just stepped in.
Right. And we're going to be covering that today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Just stepped in.
right. And we're going to be covering, there we go. Fantastic. Well, that's what we are here to do, is expose those people who need to be held accountable and who need to, well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to step up to do the right thing, but they certainly need to be held accountable. I noticed, today you put out a thing about the NDP, which I really appreciated. Not because it was in glowing terms. It was to remind people that, not to defend the UCP at all, but the NDP didn't move and didn't act to solidify AISH and to make it accessible, and the wait lists were just as long, and they basically just kind of let it fly by the seat of its pants without really engaging in the problems that already existed, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So I'm putting together a little bit of a historical piece about not just the NDP and the UCP and whatever other party has come in, but just to remind everybody that I'm nonpartisan. Right? Everybody has taken something from the disability community, and I think it's time for a little bit of humble pie.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed on some of the comments on that post were people saying we need a new party.
Yep.
And of course, for me, what a new party means is basically just going independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a big, fabulous name, although I suppose if people want that, you could come up with something. But really, the whole thing about being a new party, quote unquote, is going independent and
Mm-hmm.
remaining independent, even in the light of how you may be co-opted and approached. I know I did some video work for an independent in Calgary for the last elections, councillor elections, and they didn't win, of course. And they were tossing around becoming part of the UCP, although they really felt passionate about being independent. Anyway, when I talked to her about a month ago, she's with the UCP now.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the temptation, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that you don't think you're good enough on your own. You don't think that you can garner enough support to ever make something like that work. And that leads me to 2 points, which is number one, careerism in politics, which shouldn't exist. And number two, the fact that no one is the purveyor of an outcome. Nobody's saying that just because you run, you're going to win. And winning is immaterial to the fact that you're putting yourself out there. Of course, you want to win, and winning constitutes greater action and greater agency. However, when you attach yourself to an outcome and you become disappointed, it therefore becomes more likely, or the percentage or possibility rises, that you may co-opt yourself.
Yeah.
So you can't be tied to the outcome of a thing. You have to do what you do. That's why we're down at City Hall on Tuesdays and Fridays. Not because we feel like we're going to win anything, although we would love to, and that's part of the reason we're there. But there is no pre-assumption on our part that we're going to do anything, that we're going to amass thousands. And if we had that kind of expectation, we would be depressed and have quit already. So you do it because you know you have to, because somewhere inside you know it's right, and you stay with it, and you work that, and you remain with integrity and some integrity, right? You don't become disingenuous. You don't sell out. You just stand there, and if you look like an idiot, you look like an idiot for as long as it takes in order for you to affect some change. Us within the world are starting to change, I believe. And along with that is going to come, I think, the opportunity for independent individuals to rise up and to...
I'm looking into it. Gavin.
Well, yeah. And I actually, it's funny that we parallel, Chantal, so closely, because I put on a post, a guy last night, he made a post and he said, if everybody just gave $10 out of their taxes we could save AISH. Now, this is an AISH recipient. And I said, well, that's fantastic, but at the moment, AISH costs 5 cents on every dollar to every taxpayer. There's no reason to, number one, go to $10. That 5 cents is sufficient. You don't even need to put in another 5 cents to make it 10 cents. And I went through the Heritage Fund, I went through Alaska, I went through Norway, all of these models to show how, with the 4th largest oil reserves in the world, we're getting screwed on a yearly basis. I went back to Alaska, they've been getting $1,000 since I don't know when, every year. And for a family of 4, some years they're getting $6,800, man. Doesn't matter if it's 8 months old or 18 years old or 80 years old. Everybody gets that amount. So a household of 4 is making $7,000 a year, and they are 25th in oil reserves, and we're 4th. So anyway, my point about that is that a few people kind of chimed in and said, you know, you should be running, and I said, you know, just like you, I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh, I am. I'm doing a lot of research right now in regards to that. Because either way, even if if we didn't find people that wanted to run independently for this, there still needs to be a community of disabled individuals speaking out for the community at large.
Right.
That know the system, that have lived within it, and know all of the bureaucratic stuff and how to, navigate that situation and have our feet on the ground. That's what we don't have right now in the legislature is proper, true to the earth representation of what it is our lives actually look like.
Right. And this is the careerism of politics, because there's money in politics. People want to be a politician. Being a politician is probably the most banal pursuit in life that a person can undertake. I can't think of anything more boring and less sophisticated, least artistic thing I can think of. And it's because politics is what everybody does. It's just a responsibility. It's like brushing your teeth. You have a responsibility to that if you live on the planet. And just like brushing your teeth, nobody's supposed to make $1 million at that. You're just supposed to do it. And we've lost that understanding of the political. That's why I think that the janitor should run for prime minister. Because he knows the majority of the people out there. He lives the life that they live, and his interests are their interests, and vice versa. Yeah. So it's interesting that this is coming at both of us within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were kind of hinting at that too at the protest when we were there.
Oh, were they? You were getting some comments, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Lots of smiles, lots of like, come on, let's go.
Right. Yeah. Well, Chantal, I can see that absolutely from your case, because you have a case. The work that you've done.
I just like documenting. That's all I like. I like doing the research, the documenting, building the forms, right?
Right.
That's what I like doing.
And for some reason, people are still accustomed to personality. And I wish they weren't. I so wish they weren't. I wish that they could just see that this is a good person that has a good heart, and they have proven that through observation and longevity, and that's enough. I don't need this person to be Britney fucking Spears or a game show host like Donald Trump. I just need them to care. I need them to understand me. That should be enough. But for whatever reason, it's not. Politics is a performance art. And
it's a popularity contest.
Yeah, well, it's a performance art. In the realms of artistic endeavor, it is a performance art. There are the creative arts and the performance arts. That would include theater, music, and politics is no different. right? So I certainly felt that way on Friday because lo and behold, I had to jump up and become something I have never been in my life, which is have a personality. So I got up there, thanks to you, or no thanks to you, and I had to engage the populace. And what I found is, although I hate the fact that you may have to entertain a little bit, you know, you may have to be kind of kooky and kind of wonky and give the crowd shit and, you know, dance like a monkey. I felt somewhat at home, probably given my artistic background and the fact that I worked in entertainment the majority of my life. So, what do you think? I put together, you haven't seen this yet, but
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see it.
Yeah, but I put together a whole, you know, probably 2.5 minutes of what happened down there. So I think I'm just going to roll it and we'll check it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the protest at the legislature Friday between, it was between 11 and 2. And here we go.
We're going to raise our voices as loud as we can. We're going to get creative with the shit that comes out of our mouth because it's all true, it's all real, it's all in real time, and it's all directed at asshole in there.
Yes.
So I welcome you. Hey, look at how many people are here. I don't know if these people, bam, okay, maybe not, they're entertained. Good for them. Because this is going to be entertaining. It's going to be big.
I've been on AISH for 18 years. I'm severe. I have multiple comorbidities, bad heart, bad lungs, everything. They took $220 off me for housing, and then they took off another $110. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I do not want to be homeless. I was homeless 5 times. I had a really bad drug and alcohol problem.
I spent the last few days editing what I believe could be an anthem for all of us. All of us standing here today, and for 80,000 people that aren't, that we hold in our hearts.
We are still here. We stand as one. We'll fight their lies until our work is done. Don't go quiet. Don't go alone. Let them believe what they have shown. They could never hide their shame. It is they who bear the blame.
They profit off of it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was the protest. That was without the special effects, of course. We had an amazing time. We really did. The people that marched down to the legislature were just an amazing bunch of individuals. And I really, you know, I mean, I can walk into a club and I can see everybody wearing a mask and thinking their shit don't stink and they're really cool and they're a better musician than they think they are. And it's just a really nothing of a moment. And yet when I just sit and I talk to these people and they talk to me, I really don't say much to these other people. I love hearing their stories. And they're so real. They are so stripped of any pretense. And they just, like that lady said, you know, I've been homeless 5 times. You know, I was fortunate enough to get off drugs and alcohol. Man, that brings a tear to your eye. And because we're so closely related, although, knock on wood, I've never been there in either respect of what this lady has. I can certainly share her pain on a psychological level, on a level of stress and depression and anxiety. I know what all those things are, and you know how much they affected my life and how much I may not have had a life today. And one of the saving graces, if I can put it that way, of my life was getting on AISH, because then I could finally breathe again. Then I could feel kind of human. And I never felt human, whether I was playing with Joan Rivers or Sweet, or I was still depressed. I was always anxious. So I got me some good medication about 6 years ago, and I got on AISH, and now I feel like I can help. Now I feel like more myself than I've ever felt. And oddly enough, I got out of music when those two things happened in my life. And I started to engage with the public because I love these people. There's no bullshit. There's no pretense. Their emotions are on their sleeve every minute of the day. I haven't played, and I'd like to play a little bit of the guy in the green toque. You know, because he was, I don't know, man, in a sense, he was kind of the superstar, although a little bit loud and a little bit profane at times. I wasn't going to shut him down. And, you know, he's just speaking his truth. And the only idiot I think any of us would agree that we met that day was Jason fucking Nixon, walking through the protest for whatever reason, I don't know, except to show himself a douchebag. He could have gone 10 different ways.
I think he was looking to get everybody kind of riled up and to probably make us look like a bunch of unhinged individuals, but I think we handled it really well.
I think we did. You know, I didn't notice him. The guy's like 6'8" and probably about 800 pounds. I mean, like, he's lurch. He's literally lurch. And and I couldn't even see him for the size of himself. Like the two short guys, and which were taller than me, that were beside him, I could only notice them. It was like a walking wall. And I couldn't even see this goof, you know, goof's face for the size of him. And then I kind of looked up and I realized who it was. And so I went directly over as he walked through the protest like a total douche, you know, with his head high in the air, almost losing oxygen. That's how tall he is. And so I went up to him, and some lady kind of said, "Fuck you," or something like that. And I was like, well, I said, let's just wait a second. Let's see if he wants to say something today. And he looked at me and he said, "Not today." And then I basically just said, "Ma'am, go ahead. You're in the midst of a complete prick. Say whatever you want." And at that point, nobody had any time for a guy like that. You know, the glib nature of that asshole, and the fact that this is the guy that cares for the homeless. This is the guy that at least did run the mustard seed. This nice Christian man. I've never met a bigger douche in my life, and I worked for Jimmy Swaggart. Okay.
Well, no, Nixon's father was the one that founded and operated the mustard seed. He was the one that had the background in incarceration, homelessness. He knew what people were facing on the streets of Calgary. And that's why he created the mustard seed. Jason Nixon, one of his children, has never known struggle.
Yeah, he's a Nepo baby. That's what you call him.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's all he is. But he ran the mustard seed for a while, didn't he? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this is the kinds of hands you're in, ladies and gentlemen. You are like
not anymore.
Not anymore. Right.
Yeah. As of the 21st, because
right,
that was when Neudorf was sworn in.
Right.
So the day before our protest. So
Right.
I don't know why Nixon showed up there at all, other than to get our feathers kind of ruffled. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
Just to be a dick.
Yeah.
That's all I can ascertain. If you walk through a crowd and people are going to engage with you, well, you would then stop because you're walking through the crowd. So there was no reason for him to walk through there except to be a total twat. And that's what he was, and that's all he was. And, you know, just the most disgusting side of humanity is integrated into an individual like that. It disgusted me. And if he wouldn't have walked so fast away from me, I would have had a hell of a lot more to say. And not that it would have come to anything, but it would have been cathartic. Would have been great for me. Because a guy like that is not going to listen. And this is your public servant. This is your public servant. They're a servant to you. They're to serve you. These are the hands that you're in right now, ladies and gentlemen. You are oil through their fingers. They do not give a shit. They don't hold you up. They don't care about you. You slip through their fingers. You see what I mean? And that became ever so clear to me and obvious on Friday. So,
Well, I think even if people within the community would have been asking him pointed questions, he would have just been in a position where he could have said, well, that's not my office anymore.
right, but, you know, once again, I mean, that's just a dick. You know, it was that weekend
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
yeah, it was,
But there's no accountability for any of this party, right?
no, we don't have accountability in politics, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what needs to change. And the only people that are going to change it are not other politicians and other parties. You're going to have to change it. You're going to have to stand up like we did on Friday, and like I believe we're going to do again on Canada Day, because I'll tell you what, on July 1st, when this flips the switch, this ADAP, it ain't going to be Canada for us, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't going to be Canada for 80,000 people. So I have no desire to celebrate on that day. I have a huge desire to verbally kick the shit out of a political apparatus. That's what I have in me.
Yeah.
I know you wanted a little more polite than that, but I'm jazz, baby. You know, I got jazz hands. I'm probably going to have to improvise a little bit through the structure. So that's what we're doing July 1st, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I put together like a tech-in for it, just in terms of what we're hoping to have happen with our July 1st. I don't really want to call it a protest because it is, but in a way it isn't. It's more going to be tailored to exposure and information to the people that are walking around the legislature grounds. So everybody said about, or there was a conversation at the protest on Friday about getting the middle class more involved, increasing visibility of what it means to be on AISH, what disabilities mean, that kind of thing. We have all of those documents already locked and loaded in our arsenal. It's just a matter of making them more visible.
Right. Right.
So I think that'll be our biggest step.
Yeah.
And we'll have the people there, the demographic to go after with all the foot traffic, because there's going to be a lot of parents, there's going to be a lot of families, a lot of kids, that kind of thing. So this will be more of like a quiet protest, but it's mostly going to be information driven.
Right. And I like the idea of the, what'd you call it? The education in, or the what?
Oh, the tech in.
The what?
Tech, or the teach in.
Teach in. Yeah, there you go. Teach in. I love the idea of that. You know, I will say, not that I want us to have our first argument on camera. Ew. But, you know, I'm going to allow for emotion and what comes from that. Of course, we don't want things to get crazy and to go nuts, but you know, I can't hold anybody back from expressing themselves, nor would I ever. And if it turns into a march, if it turns into a, you know, a bullhorn moment, you know, I think that we give the people that, and yet, if people want to take part in the teach-in and things like this, it's right there. You know, and we can find space for, I think, both. But you're right. I think appealing, or not appealing to, but letting the middle class understand what is going on with them is really of the utmost importance, because I don't think the middle class quite understands how much they're getting screwed. I just don't think they know. And when I brought it up on this post yesterday, the guy was like, I don't want to argue, all you haters. I'm like, dude, I'm not hating on you. I'm sticking up for you. I'm outside of City Hall 2 days a week for you.
Mhm.
I don't hate you. I don't hate you at all. I love my brothers and sisters. That's why I'm doing the work that I'm doing, and it's the only reason. I'm not making any money at this. This podcast makes no money, nor will it ever make a dime, unless that comes from YouTube hits. It ain't going to come from the people. Not one dime of this will ever come from the people. We're not making money off of this. We're doing it because we love people, and we don't like our own pain, and we only see 80 more thousand people in it. And we love those people, and we get angry for these people, and we weep for everyone, and we weep for ourselves, because life ain't what it fucking used to be, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get a handle on that and motivate yourself like you actually understand that, because it's not going to go back unless we change it. Your politician, I'm sorry, they're not going to help. Donald Trump, doesn't give a shit. I'm sorry. And wow, that I have to say Donald Trump doesn't give a shit is quite stunning, really. That I actually have to say that. Pierre Poilievre doesn't give a shit. Naheed Nenshi, not two shits. And Daniel Smith, we already know the shit that she represents. And that she feeds the people on a daily basis. So it's time to stop that. It's time to reclaim our $1.6 trillion of the Heritage Fund. It's starting to act in ways like Alaska gives to its people every year, up to $6,800 for a family of four to live their life, to enjoy their life. We have so many resources in Alberta, we would never even have to question programming, AISH, Alberta Works, wheelchair assistance. None of these things would be a problem. We would have all the money, even at a 3% extraction per year of that $1.6 trillion that we will continue to accrue. We would never have to touch any program. We could make every person in Alberta enjoy their lives to an extent where maybe now you do get that boat, that you want. And if you start with a canoe and you work up from there, good for you. What I'm saying is the money is there. The money is there, and it's always been there. I'm passionate today.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're allowed.
I'm
But
allowed.
it's true. The money is there, and it's not being used the way that it should be. And they just keep on closing more and more doors, and it's not going to help anybody.
No, it's not helping anybody. And once again, it depends on how you want to be represented. Like, do you, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to be spanked every day of your life, or do you want to enjoy your life, man? Do you want to?
I don't know, for people that are maybe into that, that'd be fine, but
Well,
no.
yeah. I've never been partial to that, but I do understand there's a demographic for everything. But what do you want? Do you want to be abused for the rest of your life? Do you want to lose money that is yours, that is literally in a bank account for you, and just continue to excuse government and to praise whatever politician seems to come your way, like they're going to be your savior and they're going to solve your problem? They're not. They've proven it. When are you going to get over it? Your government is just not that into you. Like your ex-girlfriend. She's just not that into you, man. When you hear those words from your friend, that's when you start to deal. And that's your government. And I want to be that friend that says, your government is just not that into you. Stop believing in them. Walk away and find something new. You may even find that you yourself can serve the people in some respect. And that's what I've found over the last 6 years, that I love to serve. I love to engage. And I think you're finding that about yourself, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Well, once I opened the floodgates with all of my documentation and it started almost literally flying off the shelves, so to speak, right? And it just reinforced the fact that there was a need and I should have acted sooner, but I'm here now. And I ain't going away.
And anxiety be damned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you finally realize that there's something bigger than you out there. That, you know.
Which is hard to believe, but yes.
Well, isn't it though? Because, you know, we all like to think we're pretty special. But, you know, that's part of, I think, anxiety is the fact that you think about yourself all the time. And once you stop thinking about you and you go, oh my God, there's a whole world out there hurting just like me, then you are able to kind of release some of that pressure, some of that stress, because it's not all about you anymore. It's not this box, you know, that you're stuck in for the rest of your life. Now the world opens up to you and you go, my God, by helping other people, I actually feel better. And I start to realize my potential in the world, and I start to realize that it's valuable. I mean, once again, who are we, right? Like we just went out and did a protest. And, yeah, thanks. And and it wasn't even our goddamn protest. I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on that, but
it's still a sore subject. But you mentioned it. What was it? Thursday or no? Saturday when we were on Facebook. There, you know. You can only have such high expectations for what was being organized. So
yeah,
you know, I'm really trying. I'm trying, but it's like, oh my goodness, if I had known that the ball was going to be dropped, I would have been a hell of a lot more prepared for Friday than I was.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the part that pisses me off is that I wasn't prepared, and I am the kind of person that has to be prepared for everything. And I'm sure everybody that showed up at the protest knows, oh yeah, okay, yeah, judging by what she brought to the protest, yeah, she's definitely an overachiever in that aspect.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just answering something on
No worries.
coming out of Facebook. Yeah, I mean, you know, enough said, right? Like, I mean, we love the guy, but once again, you know, I think I know the joke, right? You know the joke, but I think I actually met the individual that will probably be late to his own funeral. I think I found the guy. Yeah, it was pretty weird because it wasn't our protest. It was completely somebody else's protest, and we basically had to do something, or you know,
people were pissed.
Yeah,
they were getting upset, and it was like, well, I understood where they were coming from.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I wasn't prepared. I was just there to, like, we had amplified the protest on our Facebook or on the podcast.
Yep.
And sent all of these messages and kind of calls to action to various people within the community and within the government and within the province of Alberta. And I figured, you know, since the protest had been a thing since basically the 23rd of January of this year, that, you know, there was some kind of planning, involved, but I wasn't involved in that process. George just came on and said, hey, can you amplify this? It was like, absolutely, let me get on that right now. Tap, 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 tap. Got it done, and then Friday hit, and it was like, oh my God.
Right. Yeah, and I know, like, I think people were even getting upset at us because somehow they incorrectly put us as the people doing it because you had the big sign, so that kind of spoke to that. And but it wasn't our rodeo, man. You know, but we just did it. You came over and you said, we gotta move, and so we moved. Yeah, I noticed you're probably responding on Facebook right now, right?
No, and in the comments, somebody just asked, do you think Ukraine deserves to be independent? And do you think Gaza deserves to be independent? Well, my personal stance is I believe we have enough issues here at home that need to be focused on before we help anywhere else.
Well, fucking men. If you want a simple answer to that question, yes on both. Is there nuance to it? Absolutely, but yes to both. Enough said. We got, like I said, like once we solve Alberta's problems, maybe we'll move on to the world. There are no supermen.
One step at a time. Oh my God, one step at a time before we look at, world domination, please, Gavin.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just going to pay my rent this month. Is that okay? Can I start there? Yeah, I mean, we are not the saviors of the world. And the person asking that question, the paradox here is that you are the savior of me and I am your savior. That is the paradox. You're not going to be saved by government. Your neighbor is going to help you with that, and you're going to help your neighbor. So we need to start closer to home. My heart goes out to all people of all classes, races, creeds, religions, sexes. But I can't take on. Well, I can't. This is actually where I started acting against something, because I finally realized that I can't take on the world. The world has its problems, oh my God, like I've never experienced in my 60 years of living. But I can't take on the world. Nobody's going to listen to me in that regard, and it's too big. Do you know how you change your nation? By changing your home. Change your home. Jordan Peterson, I don't have much use for him. But, and because it's so just obvious, but clean your own room. Clean your room. Start there. Okay, don't clean your room. I know. My room is clean, by the way. I'm an extremely orderly person, but that's probably my issue. But start with your room. Clean your room, and then move on to the house, and then maybe you can cut your lawn and move on to the neighbors. But you're not going to make any headway taking on the world's problems. But if you take on your local issues, and you prove yourself worthy in the little things, then maybe more will be granted to you. It is the narcissist, I believe, that thinks he can change the world. You're not going to change it. You start small, at home, and you let that work for you. So, yeah, did you...
I'm going up for a smoke.
Okay. We were legislated into Confederation against our will under the Alberta. We had no vote. We want to be independent in the 1870s and still today. Well, good for you. Once again, if you want to give the fourth largest oil reserves to the U.S., which is where that's headed, straight to Washington, you go ahead. Instead of making your life better, you go ahead. We have a fight on our hands, no doubt, with Ottawa. But the fight needs to start closer to home. And that is the fact that we need to get our own government, our own provincial government, working on behalf of the people. They are the ones that have stolen or misappropriated or not given $1.6 trillion, not Ottawa. Ottawa never did that. That was us. That was our government. Right? And so there is no genuine alternative out there at the moment. If you're talking about separation, this is going to give Washington all of our resources. Now, if you want that, you go ahead. If you want to lose your health care, you go ahead. But that's not me, and that's not today. I'm going to fight here for what I believe Albertans want. I don't give a shit about antiquity as to what we wanted 200 years ago. That's not my issue. My issue is today, here, not running away from Alberta, right, or Canada. I'm not going to run away. I'm going to stand and fight. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to fight for a better day for Albertans. And once I'm done with Alberta, maybe I'll stretch out a little bit. I don't even know that I'm going to be successful with Alberta, but I have to try. And that's all I'm doing. I don't have grandiose expectations like becoming my own country. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
The world
Especially
is,
in a landlocked area like Alberta.
exactly, where if you want to make an argument for smaller countries having done it, that's true, but none of them were landlocked. They all had port access, and they were surrounded, at least on one side, by water. We are landlocked, and we are a grift for the U.S. And I've lived in the U.S., I know the U.S., and I don't want the U.S. I am far more satisfied being a Canadian. And then what does even that mean? I'm not a nationalist, right? I'm a human being, man. That's all I am. That just so happened to be born in Canada. I think that's important. With all the failures that Canada's had and continues to have, and liberal this and virtue signal that, and conservative this, and rapacious taking of the wealth of Albertans, you're screwed on any side, man. So I'm starting here. I'm starting today. Well, I started 2 months ago, and I'm not going to give up on that. You can solve the world's problems. I hope you do. I really hope you do. And if it sits well with me, then maybe I'll even praise you for it. But at this moment, no, man. It starts at home. It starts with what I can do. And I'm not going to argue minutia. I'm going to argue what I know. And what I know is that every government since the 80s, UCP, NDP, Liberal in Alberta, has screwed us out of $1.6 trillion. Of course, it's more than that, but that's what our Heritage Fund should be. And that takes care of everything. At a 3% withdrawal, Alberta never has to worry about a thing. We don't have to spend a dime on a new army to keep us secure from misadventure. If we go separate, we don't have to worry about those things. We don't have to spend money on that infrastructure to be a new goddamn country. Wow. No. We got it. We got it made. And any money that we give to Ottawa is a pittance, a literal pittance, a piss in the bucket from what Alberta's government has lost us for 35 years. So think about that first before you jump on the bandwagon, right? Before you need something else to believe in. Believe in yourself, goddammit. Not these people that are promising you things.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm out of that conversation. I've said what I have to say. So let's get busy. Let's get busy.
Well, before I touch on the Neudorf stuff, I want to let kind of everybody know what it is that I was up to. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Where is it here? I'm going through the group. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Here it is. I filed a UN submission over the weekend. And I shared the reference number for my complaint there. So here is what it is and what it isn't. Okay, so what this means, the UN submission. The United Nations runs something called the Special Procedures Independent Human Rights Experts, special rapporteurs, and working groups who can ask governments hard questions when human rights obligations look like they're being broken, right? Which is what we're seeing with the AISH-to-ADAP switch. They have a specific procedure called an urgent appeal for cases where harm is imminent. And we're already seeing a lot of movement on that front, people talking about unaliving events and what have you. I submitted this as an urgent appeal. The trigger date is July 1st of this year, when Alberta moves about 80,000 of us from AISH to ADAP under Bill 12. Right? So the submission is now on the OHCHR record under reference 8-1IZSSFF is what the code is that they gave me for my submission. The lever in the filing is timing. The UN Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities adopted its concluding observations on Canada on the 8th of March, 2025. They specifically flagged substituted decision-making, right? So governments overriding disabled people's choices in care and treatment as a compliance failure. So that's already been flagged at the UN level. In the 12 months since then, 4 provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and Manitoba, have all expanded that exact framework. New Brunswick is planning one as well. 12 Ontario mayors have publicly asked for the notwithstanding clause to be invoked so they can do it too.
So that they can do what specifically, Chantal?
They want to take more and more of our rights from the disabled population.
Okay.
And I try really hard not to get too much into it, but the modern day eugenics document that I was working on is finished. It is finished.
Good.
The public facing plain language document is finished, and the addendum to the original report is also complete. So I'm just waiting to pull the trigger on that one.
And
It was sent to the
for
UN.
you to. What's that?
That report was sent to the UN.
UN. Okay, good. So
Yeah.
that's its premiere debut.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Continue.
So the committee said, don't do this, and the provinces did more of it, right? So changing our rights, making it so that we aren't consulted, that kind of thing. The UN specifically said, nah, and Canadian provinces are doing it anyway. What I sent, so 3 documents and a 5-page cover letter were sent. The architecture returns May 2026, the standalone addendum documenting the cross-Canada institutional rebuild. Now, I know that a lot of people are so hyper-focused on this AISH-to-ADAP transition that it's almost gone unnoticed. They are bringing back institutionalization against the will of the person.
Right. So committed, they call it. You'll be committed. Yes. Yeah.
So where is it here? The consent was never the point. That's the name of the new document that will drop eventually. The parent piece with the full evidentiary record, including the 1929 to 1972 Sexual Sterilization Act history. The plain language guide, the accessible companion, the institutional continuity finding in 3 matters, one of the 5 Alberta facilities being retrofitted for compassionate intervention is what they're calling it. The Centennial Center in Ponoka sits on the institutional grounds of Alberta Hospital, Ponoka, identified in standard academic literature as one of the 4 primary feeder hospitals of the Alberta Eugenics Board during 1929 to 1972. So the same physical building, same provincial government, population then was the mentally defective, is how they quoted it, and the psychotic persons.
Right.
Population now, combined mental health, substance use, and cognitive impairment presentations, the missing middle, right? That is not a claim about motive, that is architecture.
Yep.
So who all received it? Because of course I didn't stop with just one place, I had to send it to a bunch. So the OHCHR Universal Submission Portal routes the formal finding to multiple UN mandate holders at once. 27 cover emails go alongside the submission. Okay.
Yep.
So 4 UN treaty bodies, CRPD already sent, CESCR, CAT, and CERD. So CERD. 9 UN special procedures, so the special rapporteurs on disability, Indigenous peoples, health, torture, extreme poverty, housing, violence against women, plus the working groups on arbitrary detention and discrimination against women. Because a lot of the people that are on AISH are women.
Right. And suffer their own, or our own form of discrimination anyway, which I think is which I think was completely observable on Friday by what's his nuts? Jason Nixon. Yeah, thanks. The contempt that he showed by walking through there was basically, you know, in a way, it was what we're discussing right now. These people think that we're stupid. They think we don't know a fucking thing. They definitely believe themselves more intelligent. And this is where they're wrong, because they don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, if they do know what I know about this, they're not sharing it. Right? So even if they're that intelligent, they're disingenuous. So you can throw them into the trash can, you can throw them away just for that reason alone. I want to go back just real quick to the first part of this, where you're discussing, you know, the UN Charter and everything else. So what kinds of implications does this have for us? And the other thing is, I was unaware until I read it yesterday from you that Alberta seems to be, you know, kind of leading the way on this austerity that has never been seen in Canadian history. But it seems like other provinces and towns and cities are starting to fall in line with the same ethos. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this is going to end up being a Canada-wide problem, not just an Alberta problem.
Right. And once again, that could be any one of us that gets hit by that train and is in desperate need of money to sustain our lives, should we be so lucky as to survive the train, right? Yeah. Right. So this is a huge consideration, because once again, when you mention eugenics, it may seem like a conspiracy to go all the way with something like that. But hey, you know, this is how Germany started.
Yeah.
It did not start with the Jew, although there was always hatred of that class. It didn't start with the Jew. It started with the homosexual and the disabled class. And that's where people started being dealt with unceremoniously, shall we say. And then it moved into the middle class. Then it moved into the Night of Long Knives. Then it moved to the Jew. And we know the outcome of all of that. So because we can apprehend pattern recognition, or at least some of us can, we stop when we see the pattern and we describe the pattern. So whether you think that's going to actually happen or not is immaterial to the case that there's a pattern. And we want to dissolve the pattern before that pattern ever becomes structure. And I don't think that's foolish. I think that's good governance. And if you think that they'll come for us, ladies and gentlemen, once again, they'll come for you, right? They came for the black man, but I didn't say anything because I'm not black. And then they came for the homeless, but I'm not homeless, so I said nothing. And then they came for the disabled, but I'm not disabled. I cared less. But then they came for me, and there was no one to stand up for me. And that's the truth. It's not just a colloquialism. It's a Socratic philosophical truth. This is what happens. And this is why we're fighting. This is why we have a podcast. This is why Chantal is doing everything she can, and why we're trying to motivate 80,000 people to understand that this really is existential for you.
Yeah. Well, they're already snatching people out of vehicles in BC, saying that they've been, what was the word that they used? I can't remember what the word is. I shared the video on the page. This gentleman was stopped by police, and they basically said, "You've been committed."
Like in their car?
Yeah.
Pulling them out of their car?
Yeah.
Because they ran a red light? What? I don't get it.
No, they had stopped at a what the heck was it? It was a coffee shop, so like a cafe or whatever, to pick up a coffee, and then they were driving to work or what have you, and the police stopped him and ended up making the determination that you are unfit and you need to be hospitalized. He had never been through any kind of mental, what is it, where they check what your mental state is.
Yeah, yeah.
He had never had like a sabbatical done, nothing. Somebody at the coffee shop recognized him and said, hey, he needs to be hospitalized, and the police intervened. And that's BC, that's here in Canada.
Right. Well, here's the problem. You know, back in the 80s, you could be committed. And that's what Pinocchio was for those who were committed. Even the hospitals around Edmonton and Calgary were the same way. If you were committed, you went to the Holy Cross or somewhere else. And Edmonton, the same thing. That was not necessarily a bad thing, because, you know, it was based off a good assessment, right? It was based off a clinical assessment, right? What we're seeing now is more of not only a police state, but a bureaucratic state in which, when you start putting more than one piece together, right? The committed side of it is not that bad if you're doing it, you know, through.
This is more comparable with like the ICE body snatching happening down in the States.
Well, right, and it's also a bureaucratic framework, right? So they're putting the bureaucracy in place to diminish and to destroy the handicapped class, the disabled class, and at the same time, they're going to make more of you susceptible to being pulled off the street with no clinical assessment, just for the fact that somebody at the coffee shop said you were nuts. When you start adding these things together, they start to become something that they wouldn't necessarily be on their own, is what I'm saying. You see what I mean? And so this is what we are incurring now. And ladies and gentlemen, man, I'll tell you what, once again, if they come for us, they'll come for you. They will find a way and an excuse. And I would assume that this guy getting a coffee, you know, if it's Starbucks and like $8 for a small one, you know, he's probably not doing bad in life. So I would have to know more about the situation. But if they're going to rip a middle class guy off the street, which you basically have to be to live in Vancouver, you know, with rent at what, $2,500 for an apartment, then they're coming for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Quite something.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
So just to continue on my list of who got the modern day eugenics reports there, that consent was never the point, because I ended up renaming it. Now I've got to get my brain back around the new name. So 2 Human Rights Council pathways, the Universal Periodic Review Stakeholder Submission Team, they got it, and the OHCHR Canada Country Desk got it. 5 Canadian oversight bodies, including the Canadian Human Rights Commission, Alberta Human Rights Commission, Alberta Ombudsman, Alberta Auditor General, Public Sector Integrity Commissioner of Canada got it. 6 international civil society organizations also received it as of, I think I sent it out either late Saturday night or Sunday. So the Disability Rights International received a copy, International Disability Alliance, Inclusion International, Human Rights Watch, Disability Rights Division, Amnesty International Canada, and Validity, the Validity Foundation.
Okay.
They received it.
Okay.
So, and that's everybody that ended up receiving this in their inbox within the last 48 hours.
Okay. Well.
So what I hope that this does, okay, because I always have to include that, what my hope is, that the UN Special Procedures can issue an urgent communication to a state asking the government to clarify how documented conduct reconciles with its obligations under the relevant conventions. So they weren't supposed to remove rights for disabled citizens. They were supposed to increase infrastructure for us. So I'd really like to see them try to justify what they're doing now to the UN. So they can request a country visit, and they can fold the record into the next Universal Periodic Review of Canada, and they can issue a public statement regarding what's going on. So what they cannot do is override Alberta's law.
All right.
This is not a court, it is a record. But records are how things get harder to deny over time. The concluding observations from March 2025 are a record. The submission is now part of that record, and the 12-month expansion finding is the kind of fact that does not disappear just because a government would prefer that it did. What it doesn't mean, okay? So July 1st is still July 1st. Nothing about this submission pauses Bill 12. The AISH-to-ADAP transition still goes ahead unless Alberta itself stops it. So the work continues, letters, petitions, documentation, coalition, receipts. The receipt is below. My personal contact details are redacted. Everything else is exactly what the UN nations or the United Nations now has on file about what is being done to disabled Albertans in 2026. We are still fighting.
All right. Let me ask you a question. If the UN can't stop Alberta from putting forth this legislature, who can?
It would have to be the Alberta government. Because there are so many different little nuanced rules built into like the whole Canadian law framework. Every province is allowed to put into law and change programs and do this and do that and everything else without somebody doing direct oversight.
Okay.
So they're not accountable to anybody but themselves.
Okay. So
which is a huge gap.
Let's assume that the UN could. Okay, just make an assumption, right? I'm building a thought experiment at the moment. Let's say the UN could change the mind of the government. Well, then that influence would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, right? So if the UN can't influence the government, is there anything left to influence the government?
That's where the issue stands.
Okay, but is there anyone left to influence the government?
We'd have to find out who owns our government and who's pulling the strings and try to figure out how to turn them to our side.
Well, I think I'm reaching here, but what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be up to us. If the UN
In a way.
Huh?
In a way, because like everything that the government is rolling out right now, they're making it more and more difficult for people to stand up for what they believe in. Right? Like the AISH-to-ADAP switch, I've had people in the comments all weekend saying, well, I'm just not going to participate. And it's kind of a double-edged sword there, because if they're going to be, like I think they're going to, is they're going to follow a lot of the barriers to full employment through Alberta Works.
Yeah.
And if you decide, no, I'm not going to comply, I'm not doing this, I'm not your trained circus animal, you're just going to lose funding and you're going to end up in a more, horrible situation.
Well, that's obvious. Anybody that says I'm just going to say no, well, you go ahead and say no. All they're going to do is take away all your money. So, I mean, that's not going to solve any of your problems. You can say no all you want. You could say no to the Nazi guard throwing you on the train. Didn't mean you weren't getting on the train, but you can say no as much as you want. You can do that. I guess what I'm saying, Chantal, is if the UN can't motivate, if Carney won't do anything, if Nenchi's a piece of shit, then it really just comes down to the people, which is what it's always come down to. And what you're saying is they're making it harder for the people to respond to gross and nefarious actions by your government. And what I'm saying is then we better get off our ass now and do it before all of it's gone, and before the middle class can't speak, and before we're all shut up. Right? We all have gap teeth on our mouth.
Yeah,
we better
I've got some right here.
Yes, you have a roll right there, and I have one just behind me. We are going to have to start acting now. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
Because once these institutions are open, I know that they're aiming for what was it, 2028 or 2029, somewhere in there, to get all of these institutions back up and running. As soon as that happens, if we don't agree with the government, we're gonna end up in there, and it's gonna be against our will, it's gonna be non-consensual, and it'll take a hell of a lot longer to try to get out of there.
Right. Yes, because you think Nenchi's going to move real quick on that? If he gets in, or do you think any liberals going to move on that? Do you think any other conservatives is going to do anything? No, ladies and gentlemen, we're screwed. Our political apparatus is broken. It doesn't work anymore. And it's not just that it won't work for us. It won't give you what you deserve from a heritage fund. It will continue to increase prices by an inflationary standard that is only there to allow corporations to charge whatever the hell they want, to move you more into precarious lifestyle, and then need government money, and then the government will end up giving you a pittance as long as you shut up and you don't say anything about anybody. That's where we're headed. That is globalism. That is the U.S. And I won't brag about China, but at least for China, you get something. You sure as hell can't talk against your government. That's for goddamn sure. But they are going to meet the basic needs of their people, and this is how China has grown. Of course, it's grown for its own sake and for its own industrial class. But at least there you have a high-speed fucking rail. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can get from one place to the next in a blink of an eye. And so really we're moving to that level of predicament without a high-speed rail, or without anything good for you, the citizen.
Yeah.
And so it's time to stop and recalibrate and rethink what the world looks like now. You could have been something different in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, right? These were the heydays of capitalism, but those are coming to an end. And if you don't see that, I don't know how to help you. I really don't.
Yeah, no, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But the fight isn't going to stop. Even after July 1st, my fight's not going to stop.
Chantal, we're here 4 days a week, man, until we win.
Yeah.
Until we get our ass on that legislature floor, and we put an end to gross activity from all levels and from all parties, and whatever that takes, whatever that takes, I'm willing to do. If I have to do, a sit-in or anything like that, I will do it. I will bring the people into the people's house. Once again, we had sheriffs come down when we were at the legislature, at the steps of the legislature, and 4 of them came down, and we were pretty loud. I got everybody to scream Daniel Smith sucks and Jason Nixon sucks, and we did that for probably 5 minutes nonstop, and they came down, the sheriffs, and they stood off to the side. They're actually pretty cool. But when I noticed them, I walked over to them and I said, look, you know that we're at the people's house doing the people's business, right? And they said, oh, yeah, no, you're fine, man. You go. We're around, and that's it, right? And I said, well, that's great. That's cool. So which one of you wants to tell Daniel Smith to fuck off in the bullhorn right now? And, they all said, well, we have to remain impartial. I said, my ass, you're human beings. You're human beings. I said, the only reason why you can't is because you're wearing a clown suit. That's the only reason you won't speak your truth. And what a shame that is. What kind of a society have we come to where people can't speak the truth for the sake of their job? But I understood it, and I gave it to them. And that was it. They left us alone. But that is the people's house. That is the house of the people. It is paid for by your tax dollars, as is every politician in Alberta and Canada, and really the world over. Your taxes pay for people to treat you like shit. I can't think of of a more, I don't know, like what is that? What do you call that kind of behavior from a people that will allow that kind of abuse? I don't know what you call it. If you can think of a word, you go ahead, but I can't think of one. It's a sickness. We have a sickness.
No.
The people have a sickness. And the sickness is that you will allow yourself to be treated horribly and you have nothing to say about it. It's like the abused wife. At least she gets to go shopping,
Mhm.
and she's afraid what will happen to her if she ever tried to leave. We need to stop that behavior. We need to get out now. We need to get out of legacy politics now and start being creative. God damn it. I live in an artistic class. I've lived in the artistic class my whole life. And I can't think of more or less creative people in the world right now than the artistic class. And we need to be creative in how we're going to do this new thing. And we don't have to do it, but should this world tarry and not blow itself up, there is coming a generation that'll just say, I'm glad those fucking boomers are out of the way. Now maybe we can get something done. They're all gone. They're all 6 feet under or ashes in a sea somewhere, thrown on a mountaintop. So now we can get busy. Now we can change what we need to change. I think we're just ahead of the curve.
Maybe.
Yeah. Us and a few other people, maybe. So can I just address the audience, not the audience, but the chat? I don't want to call you an audience. You're not an audience. You're one of us. And I really wish, you would speak up. We've talked about a lot of things here. The last thing, 60% of Albertan families are struggling to buy food while we're forced to send 50 billion to Ottawa annually. Well, fantastic. You're a genius. Do you know that, I mean, I've said it and I'll say it again. Alberta should be, in terms of our heritage fund and our oil and gas reserves, should be at $1.6 trillion. Do you know what the difference between 50 billion and 1.6 trillion is? Anybody out there want to chime in? The difference is $1.6 trillion. What we give to Ottawa is nothing. They're using that because you're ignorant toward what you should already have. There is literally no difference between 50 billion and $1.6 trillion. It's still $1.55 trillion. You see what I mean? There's no ostensible difference. So they're using this as an excuse to show you, oh my God, billions of dollars. When their government, our government in Alberta, has screwed you since the 80s. And you want to say that $50 billion is anything? I'll tell you what, if we're as rich, and we are as rich as we think we are, as a matter of fact, we're richer than we think we are. They're helping out Canada, helping like New Brunswick, deal with its shitty, fact that people can't work and people are out of job. I would love to help people if I had the money to do that. And we do have the money to do that. That's not beyond our means to help the rest of the country. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I think people are so used to using Ottawa and the federal government as a scapegoat. And the Alberta government is really good at going, oh, no, it's Ottawa. They're not sending us enough money or they're stealing too much money from us. And that's not the case. Like we have the ability to, pad what we end up being deficit on.
Right.
Like if Ottawa only sends us X amount for schooling, we have the Heritage Fund to buffer what we're missing.
Everything at only a 3% extraction per year. 97% of our wealth.
We made, what was it, $383 million in 3 months using the Heritage Fund.
Right.
Last year.
Right.
But we're in a deficit. For Alberta, no, no, we're not. Oh, we're sending too much money to Ottawa? No, no, we're not, because we still have that money. Ottawa doesn't touch the Heritage Fund.
Right. And that what was it,
383.
$83 million is piss in the bucket as to
Yeah.
what we could be saving. So once again, they tell you $383 million in one quarter, and you're going, oh my God, that's amazing. No, it's not. That should be upward of $1 billion per quarter. There's no reason that it couldn't be at least twice that amount. And once again, you're praising your government for nothing, because they're showing you one form of math, and they're not showing you where the other half of that money went to.
Yep.
That money should be doubled per quarter. There's no excuse for it. And if you think I'm being romantic, then take a look at Norway and take a look at Alaska. Those are two countries, or one state and one country, that are doing it correctly. They're not lying to their people. They're not bullshitting their people. They are saving for the future of their country and their children, and they're taking care of their homeless, and they're disabled.
Well, that's because all of that money that people end up getting a year from their own fund, right, is going back into their communities. It's giving the people more buying power. That's why they can stock the grocery store. That's why they can afford their infrastructure. That's why, all of those things are better for these two different places, because the government has a fund that they're amassing and they're circulating it to the people that are going to be spending, and they're not worrying about inflation like what we are.
Yes. Yes. And we also have oil. We have natural resources to back the money we have. Like the U.S. backed their dollar with gold until they fucked it up. But we have those resources. So that money is not inflationary in that sense, right? It's not like if you put more money into the market that you'll have to necessarily raise prices, because all of that money is backed. Every dollar of it is backed. I'm just going to read one thing. Perspective is everything. If you only choose to look at one part of the whole, you will never see the full picture. Well, amen. ERC, if I can call you that. I mean, if you want to expand on that, like what are you talking about specifically? I would like to know, because of course that's a salient comment. And if you're talking to the 60% of Albertan families are struggling, well, of course they do. What somebody that wants to separate doesn't understand is how much natural resource we actually possess, and how there is no reason to go anywhere, and the fact that your government is the one that screwed you out of all that money. If that were just a regular dude, you'd beat the shit out of him or get your money back somehow. But we accept it from government. This is our stupidity. And we are headed to a new day where we're not going to play dumb anymore. We're not dumb. Nobody's dumb. And ERC, I met you, and you're one bright dude, man. And I hope to see you tomorrow. You are, and your missus is just as amazing. I can't wait to see how many signatures you guys have and what you've been doing. We are not stupid. We are told we're stupid. My dad told me I was stupid until I stopped believing that I was. And now I know I'm not stupid. As a matter of fact, when I walk into these halls of whatever, Congress or politics or whatever, most of the time I'm met with like a deer in headlights, because people have no understanding of what I'm talking about. They don't know the math. They don't know what's going on in their own government. Government doesn't know what's going on in government. So we could do this, man. It's slow. It is. It's a process. Absolutely. Keep your expectations tied to reality. But we can do it. I still believe we can do it. What says you, ERC? I'd love to know. Yeah. What do you want to do now?
I don't know, just regarding that, the one comment there about, it's only one part of the whole picture. There's a lot of naked chickens running across Alberta right now. So we're definitely connecting dots and uncovering the greater picture with every document that ends up going live.
Mhm.
So we don't have a very narrow threshold for research as to what we're looking at. It's a very broad pattern.
Yes, yes. Uh, well, yeah, I mean, um, it's a colloquialism attached to Chantal, but she is the chicken plucker. All right. And I said plucker. Okay. She is the chicken plucker. And my visual for that immediately comes to my mind is just a bunch of naked chickens running around Alberta with no feathers on. A funny sight, at least in my head. But this is what she's done. She has plucked out so much knowledge and understanding and wisdom from every facet of this that I can think of, at least the ones that pertain to now and are immediate. If you notice, we're not talking about what ADAP has come out with and what they're how to apply for this or how to go about doing that, because I consider that capitulation. I consider that at this moment to be bowing to the knees of the king, and I'm not going to bow to the knees of the king. We're trying to take the knees out from under him. If there comes a moment where people might need advice, and I think Chantal's already doing it, but this podcast stands right now to fight, because we do not believe that ADAP ever needed to be a thing, and so yeah, when you think AISH Actions Revolutionary Podcast, think naked chickens. That's an Alberta thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very Albertan. Very Albertan. Do you have other things? Am I talking too much today? Are you all right?
No,
Okay.
no, Yasmin just asked if she can come in the call. I don't know if you have them on Facebook or not.
Well, yeah, Yasmin, absolutely you can, my friend. Let me see. I missed that. A call came in.
It just came in.
Can I come in the call? Can I come in? I missed that. Oh, so Yasmin, yeah. But Yasmin, are you on Facebook? Like I could send you the link on Facebook, and you can come in that way. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is a call-in show. So if I have you as a friend, or even not, I suppose, I can give you the link, and you could come in and you could talk to us all you want. Obviously, something is on Yasmin's mind, and we want to hear what she has to say. So if there's any other of you there, Chantal, why don't you take over for a second? I'm going to look Yasmin up. Is it Yasmin on Facebook? You go ahead. I'll ask the questions.
No worries. I'm just going to go over some of Nathan Neudorf information here. So let's see here. So in 2023, he blamed the board chair, publicly attributed the 7-month renewable energy pause to AESO's independent board chair. Internal correspondence obtained by the Narwhal showed the pause was government directed, and that the AESO's CEO was not comfortable with the plan. In 2023 to 2024, he called critics ideology. Dismissed Pembina Institute reports, each sourced from public records, as misinformation that intentionally misconstrues the facts. Documented impact was 53 projects were canceled, 8,600 megawatts were lost, and $91 million a year in lost municipal tax revenue. So where that was there was a clean energy plan that was coming out that was supposed to give us a whole bunch of new jobs, a whole bunch of money every year. And Neudorf was the puppet that decided that we're going to pause it. And that was government directed. So whoever was pulling his strings.
All right.
The inactive recall in November of 25. So a recall petition was approved by Elections Alberta in November of 25. CBC News and Lethbridge Herald documented the approved campaign had no visible activity. Volunteers reported being spurned. Neudorf said, "I'm not actively involved in my own recall." The gentleman that was doing the recall petition to have Neudorf essentially removed from office, went missing. None of his canvassers could get a hold of him.
Mm.
Yeah.
They
So
couldn't get
fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, they couldn't. He wasn't reaching out to anybody. He had completely backed off and went. He ghosted everybody. So I think the government got to him on that one. Told him knock it off, but not in a so nice a way. May 2026, the ADAP op-ed that I responded to him on. So 12 days before becoming minister, he published in the Lethbridge Herald a op-ed claiming ADAP came from extensive engagement. Well, we covered that the last time, that consultation and engagement is a bunch of BS with the disability community. Engagement record contradicts, rebutted line by line on May 17th. The minister's office has not responded as of yet, go figure.
Right.
So in then 1994 to 2011, okay, now this, I ended up bringing this up with you on Saturday after we finally touched base after the protest. The missing 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I have money to burn a hole in my pocket, I'm going to do it. The BC IT Civil and Structural Engineering diploma was his diploma was earned in 1994. He first publicly named, or his first publicly named employer was Wardrose Construction in 2011, and described in every official biography as a small business owner. The business is never named in any official source. I want to find out what that business was.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah, because that's a 17-year gap.
Right.
As to, oh, I was a small business owner. Well, what was your business?
Yeah.
Because you were in construction, right? Like you worked as a what the heck is it called, a carpenter. And at that point, back in those days, the carpentry and construction companies were not necessarily few and far between, but they were a pretty close-knit group of individuals. So I think that his relationship with the now current finance minister, I think they're a little bit closer than we understand.
Well, we project that there could, not is, could be some kind of relationship there that we're unaware of, and the fact that nobody knows what the hell his company was actually named. There's no record of it. You know, it's certainly something that we want to look into. And ladies and gentlemen in the chat watching the program right now, if you want to look into that, if you want to do a records request, we encourage you to do that to see just what the hell the name of that company was. That puts us further down the rabbit hole to uncovering whether or not him and Nixon actually have any alignment.
Feelings.
Right. I'm just going to stop you just for a sec. I just want to let Yasmin know that, Yasmin, I sent you the link, but this was the only way I could do it. So in your feed, there is a post of a hockey game from March 24th, 2024. And so in that, I put a comment with the link. Okay. So in that one, it's looks like the Saddle Dome, March 24th. Click on that link and I can probably get you in that way. Okay. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Good old Canadian ingenuity, you see? So we're going to have that. And Yasmin, we'll have you on in a minute, okay?
Or I can email it to them. If you send me the link, I can email them because I still have their email address.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll send you that. How am I going to send it to you? Oh, I'll send it to you in Facebook.
Just message me on Facebook.
Yeah, of course. Right. What you just said.
I just thought of that now. It's like, wait a minute, I have their email address. I can do that.
Well, actually, you have today's link.
I wasn't sure which link it is.
Yeah, it's
like
same link.
the same one I pushed.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 11 people watching. That is very nice. It's very nice that 11 people would stop by and say a grand hello. We would love to hear from you, whoever you are. Wow, that went from 11 to 7 by the time I turned my head. Okay, but there's still 7 people in here.
There you go. I sent it.
And we would love to hear from you. We would like to know how you feel, even if it's about some separatist dude talking about 60% of Albertan families. I mean, of course, we share that the disgust this gentleman seems to have, but freedom train, what does that mean? Does that mean you're all for, capitulating to the U.S.? Because we're not. We are not. And why are we not? Because Alberta is the fourth largest has the fourth largest oil reserves in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And because of that, there is no reason for Alberta to go anywhere. And even though we're giving $50 billion a year to Ottawa, pales in comparison to how much money you've been ripped off since the 80s, which would stand at about $350,000 per household. All right? Sorry, per person. Huh? So you got kids, right? There could have been $1 million in your bank account, and that's not hyperbole, and that is not romantic. It's not a romantic notion. It is the absolute truth of what Alberta hasn't done for you. So forget about Canada for the moment. Hey, okay.
So forget about Canada for the moment.
Hello.
Hey, if we can, how you doing?
It's a lot better.
Good.
I'm fighting small pneumonia.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna switch you guys to speaker. There we go. Fantastic. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, so Yasmin, I know you got some things on your mind, but give us an update. How is the excuse me, how is the petition signing going?
Well, because I've been sick, we didn't do a lot, but we got, we only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more spots for the fan.
Oh,
5
wow.
more spots on the page here.
Right.
And then my mom just took 2 pages then she can bring it to church and work for it, and then they can send the my mom can help us get people sign more.
Right. Well, that's just kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been sick, we couldn't do door to door yet.
Okay.
But I'm getting better, and when I get better, we will start doing door to door.
Oh, that's wicked. And hey, just for the record, if you're not feeling well, don't worry about tomorrow. We got that covered. You get better and you get well. We want you 100%. The next time we see you, and of course, take care of yourself.
We will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to be there tomorrow.
Okay.
And my man wants to be there tomorrow.
Well, I can't wait to see you both. So what's on your mind? I mean, were you thinking about something as you were listening to us? Was there something you wanted to kind of come out with and say, hey, I got an idea or whatever?
Well, just letting you guys know that $200.
Yep.
They took it away from me and my man, so we getting $400 taken away. From it because we did a common law.
Right. Yep.
So.
And as far as I know, you're going to be reduced to 88% of your total income as well, right?
We're not sure yet what's going on.
Chantal,
I think that is like that.
Yeah, Chantal?
Yeah, it's for the cohabitation stuff, yes, it's going down to 88% per recipient.
Yeah, for if you're a roommate or a boyfriend, girlfriend, common law.
Married, yeah, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, though, Chantal.
Oh, yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that, Yasmin? I mean, what kind of a feeling does that give you? How do you feel when you know that you're losing $400? You're going to go down to 88% of your total income. Can you explain how that feels? What that feels like?
It's frustrating,
Yeah.
but we are going to try do wherever we can do. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain it, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
But it's like shit happens, I guess. But we are going to try to fight it and try to get our, yeah. I don't know how to explain it.
That's okay. I mean, I think in some ways you just did. It's a really, it's a stressful moment, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It's so frustrating. We are waiting for the paperwork coming in to say, yes, Yasmin denied because of this. Because they got Kamala. My friend, I'm not saying the name, but we heard a third party, me and my man today. They was talking to AISH, and they told her to, if you on AISH, if you have disabilities, if you have seizures, or you have some different disabilities, they are not cutting us down. They are they are going file by file. That's what I got told. So I don't know if it's true or what. We can my man can explain it more to you tomorrow about it, or Chantal. I don't know if she can find anything on the website. But we got told today about it, so.
Yeah.
Well, I just finished emailing them the, what dropped this week, and that was last week's, plain language outline about the cohabitation stuff and everything, so.
Yeah.
It's on its way.
Yeah. Some people will go to ADAP. Some people will stay on I guess. And then everybody will have 1 week or something. And then they have to make the mind up, and like, oh, you have to go, if you want to go back on AISH, you guys have to like fight and stuff.
Yeah, you have to reapply.
Reapply, yeah.
And
Yep.
it makes a lot of people frustrated and stuff.
And
Oh, it
anxious.
does.
And anxious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can understand then why you're coming down tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are going. If we so stay on AISH, we are going to so fight our kids. We might his kids might have to go on AISH when they turn 18. We don't know, so we are going to so fight anyways for other people. It's not just us. We are trying to fight with other people.
Yeah. Well, that's what we love about you there. Pam was extremely, I don't know, it changed her day when you guys showed up. It really did. And
Thank you.
yeah, well, no, I mean, I don't think you understand, maybe even the impact you had on me and her for sure. And, if I extend that just outward to people watching this or people who will watch this, I don't know how to say this, but there is really something to gathering together with people that are like-minded and standing together and fighting for something that really matters. Like there's a certain ancient feeling that gives you a tribalism that is not the kind of tribalism we're talking about today. It's not a political one. It's a very historic feeling that you get. You just know that you're in good company, and everybody there just loved on one another and were appreciative of one another, and just totally in the spirit of wanting you to proliferate your strengths.
Well, me and my man was talking about it we want to get with you and Pam, I think her name is, uh, for a coffee or something, and sit down and talk more and everything.
Absolutely. I mean, payday's coming, so I'll actually be able to have a coffee.
Right. What do you guys? If you can text my man, he doesn't want me to say his name.
Yes.
What you and Pam drank coffee for us for tomorrow, and we will bring you guys one.
Oh
We
my
can't
God.
bring everybody one, but we will bring you and Pam one.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Just you have his number and stuff. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've got his text. Yeah, that's fine. I will do that. I mean, how you see, Chantal, when I talk about it, like, you know, this is kind of what's being had here, you know? Like we experienced in Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
And it's really fantastic to just meet great people, and I've never met more great people. I've never
You
met.
guys are great too.
Well, we appreciate that, you know, but well, once again, you know, it's like-minded, right? When you're around people that show no pretense, and you know, who understand what they mean to the world and what they don't mean to the world, it's a beautiful thing to be able to share just our humanity, you know,
Yeah.
just our humanity, and that's all we're doing there. You know, we're trying to bring it back to the basics, man, not make it so complicated. You
Yeah.
know, and we even kind of discussed about, you know, NGOs and how you guys felt when you went with certain organizations and stuff, and the fact that it felt tight and closed.
Oh, it was like that. It was not like this one was like a lot better for us. We can ask to speak, not like I say, they call every 2 week, every second day, and how much spam call us. I won't say the name or anything because
Yeah.
I'm not like that, but
Yep.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
We had to block the number.
And was this like an NGO? Was this like an organization or?
Babe, do you know what it was again? Where we went?
You don't have to tell me the name. I'm just wondering if it was an organization.
It was a pay page like front of AISH office and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Incon, no whatever it calls.
Yeah, well, I think I've lived up to my word. I haven't texted you guys at all, really. And
Oh, we fine if you text us, see how we doing. But it's like the guy called me like, oh, I can pick you up and bring you to this place. So like, it was kind of weird and stuff.
that is a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, once again, there's probably money in it somewhere for them, or you know, whatever. They're trying to meet a quota, and that's not what we're doing. I don't give a shit about quotas. I don't care about, you know, if you come down because you love what we're doing, and you know, it's not what we're doing. It's if you just love people and you know, you want to give an account of yourself, then man, you know, you do you. That's why when you guys were, you know, when you filled out like 3 pages that goddamn first day, I was like, holy shit, like these people are amazing. This is their strength. This is what they do well. And the fact that you wanted to do more of it really just blew me away. You know?
We want to come down more and help you guys, help everybody, I guess I should say, not just you guys.
Yeah.
Help whoever needs. Like, like you guys say, it's like thousands of people on this program and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and we need to be out. We need to be heard. We're looking at another protest in Edmonton for July 1st. So, so you know, we would love to see it. That one, we might actually, if we get enough people, you know, we might fill a bus and just get everybody there, right?
Why not? Like, we should try to get. I was actually going to talk to you tomorrow and see if, like, I don't know how we can do it, but see if Edmonton people want to come down and help us maybe once.
You know, there's that too. There's a lot of real estate in front of City Hall. We can
Yeah.
make a big noise, and it's for a good cause. I mean, it's for us. It's for all of us, right?
Yeah, I was going to talk to you tomorrow about it, but I got on here, so I just figured to talk to you and Chantal about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know everybody that comes on, they're like, I want to meet Chantal, and I'm like, okay, okay. But
We
she's
will meet you guys, you too.
no, she's a rock star. You know, I mean,
She is.
You know, I mean, I'm the one that's played music my whole life, but she's the rock star. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she is awesome. Like my man actually was thinking going to talk to Chantal and see if they can he can help you guys or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always looking for help. That's for sure. We use all the help we can get.
Did you just hear him?
No, what was that?
Go ahead, Ben.
For the thing that Chantal put together with all the resources on her app, before my hand got injured, I was just getting ready to actually start working on something like that.
Oh, okay. I think I heard that. He was saying that he was going to start working on that. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that before we knew Chantal was doing it.
Oh, I know.
His hand got hurt.
Yeah.
He just don't want to be on camera. That's why I didn't show him.
Oh, that's
no
okay.
worries.
That's okay. Yeah, that's Chantal. You know, she's the Muhammad Ali of. You know, she'll beat you before you get in the ring. Yeah, I mean, she's astounded me as much as she's astounded anyone. But you guys astound me too. I mean, you know, when you came down, and
we were going to be. Yeah, that day I wasn't feeling well, 100%, but I went there on Tuesday, that last Tuesday.
Right.
Probably didn't seem like I was sick, but I was.
Were you? Yeah. It didn't seem like it to me. I mean, you were bubbles and, you know, sugar plums and lollipops.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I look forward to maybe we can continue the chat more tomorrow too, right? Like, you know, what we want to do, what that looks like, how we can get together, and you know, you guys just tell me whatever is on your mind, and let's see if we can bring it into the realm of possibility, right?
Yeah. And if you guys want to, I can come. It's with my disability, it's easier to be on chat or face to face because the text and stuff is more harder with me.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Well, we'll try to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
With what their strengths are.
Yeah.
So if you need to ever talk to either one of us, I'm on Facebook too under the Alberta Disability Breakdown group, and that links right from the app.
Okay.
So as long as you've got access to the app, you can find me just about anywhere.
Yeah, my man, I think he sent it to me before.
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, no, that's great. And you can, yeah, and you guys got my number, so you know, you know, we're in constant contact, and I can't wait to talk to you more because you know, I know you got more on your mind, and you're probably thinking about more, you know, about how we can do this and everything else. But
I have so much ideas going around my mind. I haven't talked to my man yet about.
Okay.
But I have so much ideas I want to bring up to you and Chantal if it's different call or whatever.
Yeah.
Or.
Well, you got a good man there to bounce stuff off of. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, he is, dude.
Yeah, that's one salient dude right there, and
he is.
Yeah, and you know, I love you both. Like I really do. It made my day when you were there. It really did. In no small way.
Yeah,
and then
I know you guys was iffy for a little bit because it's no more. If you would, but
Yeah, I don't know, Yasmin. You know, like I've spent so long in music that when I see people operating in their strengths, I get really excited. You know?
oh,
Yeah.
we were so happy and stuff. We stayed. Tomorrow we can't stay full time, like to 4:30, because he have a doctor's appointment.
That's
But
fine.
we
Yeah.
are going to be down there
Cool.
long as we can.
Cool. Well, we'll be there at noon, and I'll text you our coffee order.
Yeah.
But I genuinely look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
We are going to see you and almost call her Chantal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one.
I'm always there in spirit because I'm actually up in St. Albert.
Yeah, you are. You guys are in Sparrow, all in Edmonton and everywhere else, wherever you guys live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You're talking about Pam.
Yeah, Pam.
Yeah, Pam. You're right.
I'm bad with names. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I probably didn't remember her name for a year, and she probably didn't remember mine just as long. Well, maybe we'll let you go. We'll get back to the program, but is there anything else on your mind?
No, we can talk more tomorrow and stuff.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm glad you called in. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good to see your face, you know?
Good to see both you guys' face too.
Okay, and say hi to your guy, all right?
Yeah, he heard you. He Raven.
Okay, cool, cool. We'll see you both tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Yasmin.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See you.
Hey, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Now I've got a face to go with the name. Because
Right.
they've emailed into the campaign a couple of times now, and I just keep on sharing information as it comes available. So
Yeah. You know, these are good people, man.
yeah,
They're, you know, just like what I experienced at the protest on Friday. Beautiful people. As a matter of fact, I almost feel like running that spot again. Do you want me to run it one more time?
go ahead.
Yeah, why don't I? So this is Friday. Y'all just get a picture of this. There's a little bit of a cameo of the new, what I'm considering the anthem for AISH-ADAP. I worked on a second version of it that Chantal sent me, and I think this one kicks more dookie than the first one. So
Yeah, and I took that new version that you tweaked,
yep.
and it's actually on YouTube now.
Oh shit. Is that the one I did? Like, is that this one, the newest
That
one?
was the one that you sent me yesterday. I did a video montage of a whole bunch of images for it, and it's live on YouTube now.
Wicked. You'll have to. Do you have the link? You can put it in the chat.
Yeah, I did already.
Oh, cool.
I'll do it again, and then I'll send it to you.
Well, this is a new version, I think. You probably don't have the newest one, right?
Oh, no, I do. I took the new version that we ended up coming up with yesterday, and I just put pictures to it and put it live.
Oh, okay. Okay, but
So
it
it's the
doesn't.
whole song.
It doesn't have my mix, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, no, it is. It is your mix.
Oh, it is my mix.
It's the MP3 that I sent you yesterday.
Okay, but
After we did the revisions.
oh, so after did I send it to you?
No, I sent it to you.
No, I know. Oh, so I haven't sent it back to you because I've done a whole treatment of it. So
Oh, did you? You redid it?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll send that to you. But sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. Check this out from Friday.
We're going to raise our voices as loud as we can. We're going to get creative with the shit that comes out of our mouth because it's all true. It's all real. It's all in real time. And it's all directed at asshole in there.
Yes.
So I welcome you. Hey, look at how many people are here. I don't know if these people, bam, okay, maybe not. They're entertained. Good for them. Because this is going to be entertaining and it's going to be big.
I've been on AISH for 18 years. I'm severe. I have multiple comorbidities, bad heart, bad lungs, everything. They took $220 off me for housing, and then they took off another $110. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I do not want to be homeless. I was homeless 5 times. I had a really bad drug and alcohol problem.
I spent the last few days editing what I believe could be an anthem for all of us standing here today, and for 80,000 people that aren't, that we hold in our hearts.
We are still here. We stand as one. We'll fight their lies until our work is done. Don't go quiet. Who bear the blame?
They profit off of it.
Such a groovy time. Such a groovy time. And Can Man Dan, excuse me, Can Man Dan was there,
Yeah.
which was great. Met his mom and his brother, and both beautiful people, of course. And oh, and you and I met for the first time. I think we should
Yep.
say that. We should acknowledge that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you think that Chantal is just good at numbers and facts, you got that wrong. You're looking at the pierogi queen right here, that made me and two of my colleagues, Pam and Joey, a full meal deal, man, of pierogies, more sausage than, I mean, I'm working on it for a week now. Just the sausage. I've committed to sausage for a week now. And then what was that other thing in beside the pierogies?
The nalesnike, which is crepes with like dried cottage cheese, egg, onions, all of that, and then there was the cheese buns, and then it was all just like loaded with heavy dill cream sauce.
And she did this for us, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I felt pretty special. I wish I would have had time to eat it, because it was really good. But I certainly availed myself when I got back here to Calgary. So this is just another blessing in which she bestowed on us. I mean, Chantal treats you right, you know.
It's
Better
got to
than
be the Ukrainian in me. You
it's
got to feed people, take care of people.
it has to be, and that's what you do, and that's what you did, and you know, I really felt, you know, it was a special moment for me to meet you finally, to be able to hug you, you know, to actually, you know, like go, oh, that's what she feels like, that's what she looks like, and you
And
look
she's real.
and she's
I'm not
real.
AI.
Yeah, she's not AI generated. God knows I probably look like that, but you don't look any different than what you do in person. And so that was a blessing too. And you were the same person in person.
Mhm.
So what a beautiful day. I mean, we marched down to the steps of the legislature from up top. We screamed Danielle Smith sucks for about 5 minutes, and then gave equal weight to Jason Nixon. And I think people knew, or they felt like their day was well spent. You know.
Mhm. Well, I hope so. I know that when people were first starting to show up, they weren't sure if they were in the right place, but of course my giant sign kind of pointed them in the right direction. And I was just flagging people down left and right. Lots of people showed up without signs, and I'm glad that I had that little bit of foresight to bring what I brought so that people could actually participate in creating their own signage and seeing their comments or their position on the record, which was awesome. I don't think a lot of people were expecting a lot of what I brought.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But everybody needed to be heard, and if you had something that you needed to say, the stage was yours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I really felt good about that too. You know, like my bullhorn made the rounds, and I didn't even care. I don't know who grabbed it first, or who had it last. But it was all over the place, and I just thought, it was $60, and I don't give a shit. That's why I'm here. Everybody has a voice. Everybody, and I'll tell you what, there were people there that spoke far more eloquently than I did, about their predicament. And, people have things to say. And this is where I say the government thinks you're stupid, but 80,000 people don't think you're stupid. And that was shown to me 2 days ago in Edmonton, and it's shown to me every Tuesday and Friday in front of Calgary City Hall. People are not dumb. People are really, really smart. They have ideas. They have light bulbs going off all the time. And
the information is circulating more and more naturally online. I was doing my race floating through Facebook last night, and in one of the other AISH groups, like one of the community groups, somebody had asked about a form to request their file, and I didn't prompt anything. I was just kind of behind the scenes, and somebody posted a link to the form that I ended up creating to request your own file and your own information. And so it's definitely happening, and we're gaining traction, which is amazing to see. The community realizes that we're on their side and things are accessible, and people are starting to point them in the right direction, which is awesome.
Which gives them their own agency.
Yeah.
Which is what I love. The work that you do will stand forever in antiquity. That's for goddamn sure. But the fact that everything you've done only serves for people to use their own agency and operate in their own strength is amazing. And this is why I say none of us are stupid, because people got up at that protest and they shouted out loud and proud and gave their testimony, gave their thoughts, their own feelings, and they did it in a way that I could never intimate,
Yeah. And people want to be heard, and people have their own voices, and it's important that not only do we speak for the group at large, but that we hear each other and stand next to each other in this, because it's a fight that all of us are involved in.
It is a fight that we're all involved in, and it's a fight that that everyone is starting to partake in. Just to answer somebody's Jack and G says or asks, what the fuck is this? Well, that's a hell of a question, and I'm glad you asked it. This is a platform, a podcast, in no ways a show. We're not here for your entertainment, so if you're looking for that, you can find that all over YouTube. This is a moment in time where 80,000 people in Alberta are being disingenuously or existentially beaten down by their government once again. And this is a thing called AISH. And AISH stands for, Chantal, I should know this, but...
Assured income for the severely handicapped.
Right, so it's a handicap, it's basically an allotment that 80,000 handicapped people in Alberta get, and they're moving that to ADAP, which is basically the largest austerity project in Alberta history. I say project, it's just a nefarious piece of shit legislation in which there have been many, but this is quite unique unto itself in its level of austerity and the amount of people being affected. So we are discussing that. We're also discussing the Heritage Fund, in which Jack and G, I'm not sure you're aware of. We've gone through that. If you want to roll it back, you can listen to some of that. And so we welcome you here. And I hope I gave you a fair enough definition of what we're about. Good enough, Chantal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Because like we're going over multiple different report series. Where is it here? Yeah, I guess that would be my breakdown is all of my report series and documents and everything that's covering just about every direction that you can possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Chantal's work will not only stand in antiquity, but it is prolific to the extent of it taking government probably 10 years to amass all of the statistical evidence and whatever else. I mean, there are too many things that she's done in order for me to pontificate on every one of them. But this is a tour de force. This is like the Tour de France right here, the winner every year, you know, like Lance Armstrong, except in better health. And that's who this lady is. And me, I'm a mouth. I'm the mouthpiece of the organization. And Chantal puts up with me, so I'm very happy for that. She's a beautiful woman for that. And so, yeah, we're just bringing it to you. We are protesting. We are, I'm protesting every Tuesday and every Friday at noon in front of Calgary City Hall. We have many, many people engaged in the process, and beautiful people at that. Same thing with Edmonton in front of the legislature. We are setting up another protest for July 1st, Canada Day, from 10 till 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 till what? 10 till 5?
It's 10 till 4. I ended up putting 10 to 4.
Okay, 10 till
But if
4.
we end up staying later, then we stay later. It depends on how our engagement kind of goes. Because I
Right.
don't want to cut our noses off, right?
Oh, no.
So if we end up staying later, we stay later. So
It's
people are welcome anytime that we're there. And I'm going to be working on a little bit of something that people can go home with. As everybody's probably noticed, a lot of my imagery for the Alberta Disability System breakdown is like the pink Alberta rose. I'm going to kind of translate that into pink roses because the Alberta rose is really hard to find.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to make some things that we can kind of put on our shirts to signify that they were here and that they're
Nice.
kind of part of the group.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, you got to know your own, right? Ultimately, we are all our own. We just haven't realized that yet. And that's what we're trying to expose and have people realize in their own lives that your neighbor is not your enemy, they're your friend. The government or the system of such is the one that you need to be weary of every day. And that's why we exist, to not only tell you that, but to give you all evidence for it. And then it's up to you to either believe truth or not. And we leave that with you.
Yeah.
I should also mention that there is a protest in Calgary and Edmonton, but I don't know where. Excuse me. On the 29th of May, coming up in a few days, Friday, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's at Riley Park. I don't know the specific times. Pam, maybe you can tell us that. Can you let us know in the
That's
chat?
through the CUPE, I think.
Yeah, it's the union protest, but it really involves the
They're just calling it a
proliferation.
day of protest, and that's just for everybody that
Yeah.
wants to be involved. So the one at Riley Park, there's 623 people going,
Mhm.
and it's between, where is it here? 5:30 and 6:30.
Oh, wow, it's only an hour long.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, we got them beat by a mile, don't we? I guess they're on union time, right? But for that hour, I'm sure, well, I'm absolutely showing up because I want to see if we can make some fair alliances, alliances that work with me, with my comfort level. I'm certainly, Chantal and I are very careful as to who we do any business with, but we are also open to any and all suggestions, because right now, although you got to be a little bit picky and you want to know, if there's any subversion out there, we don't have a lot of choices, and we have to align with our brothers and sisters who are suffering on all sides of this equation. Yeah. So that's 5:30, 6:30, Riley Park. Friday?
Yeah, and then the one in Edmonton here, because I'm already on the website. Day of protest, it's going from 11:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. And
Okay.
it's in Centennial Plaza, south of downtown Stanley Milner Library. So 9924 101st A Avenue Northwest. And it'll be a march to join 600 healthcare workers rallying east of the Edmonton Convention Center. The rally will be over at 1 p.m. Please wear yellow and consider bringing a sign and noisemaker.
Now, wait a minute. Is this a separate protest?
No, the day of protest that's happening province-wide on the 29th, it is going to be mixed.
Okay.
So it's not just the disabled community, it's not just union, it's everybody that wants to protest can show up.
I love that. I love that. Like, you're talking about the nurses coming out?
Yeah.
The nursing union?
Nurses are coming out. As far as I know, there's going to be teachers there. Just in Edmonton right now, people that are supposedly going, we're at 911.
How many?
911.
In Edmonton.
Yeah.
Come on, Calgary. We can do better. We're at 600. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, I know we're white collar, but come on, just get it out of your butt for a minute and get down there. That's what we need. That's amazing.
I just put the link in the comments.
Cool. And that's what we need right now. We need these kind of alliances. We need to stand with the nurses. We need to stand with the welders and the mechanics and, you know, every individual out there.
These are all future people that are going to potentially need to be on AISH or some kind of assistance program.
Well, exactly. I mean, right? And yeah, I mean, as far as nursing goes and as far as the AISH program itself, these are, you know, this AISH program it's a necessity for all Albertans. And we already know, as I've said today, that it is not only affordable, but it's not even a question in the minds of any government or of any fiscal downturning. This program can be paid for every year without any disruption to anyone's life. The one disrupting your life is the government by withholding anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to potentially $6,000 a year from the tax-paying citizenry. And that's another thing that we're trying to stop. But right now, we have to ensure that our lives don't change July 1st so that we can take on that fight as well. You see? We have to start with priorities. And our priority is AISH-ADAP. And from there, I am sure we will branch out into bigger and better things. And this is the way the world is going, ladies and gentlemen. It is the nurse, it is the disabled, it is the shop worker, it is the working class coming together, whether you're gay, straight, black, white, none of that matters anymore because it shouldn't have mattered in the first place. We're all getting together as a class of individual that deserves our rights respected and our money. And that's it. Right? Amen. Sister.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do we have more to discuss? So we were on Neudorf, right?
Yeah, I went over his, what is it called? His flyer already. Just trying to see here. We did the what drop this week. There will be 2 new forms that I'll be releasing probably later on tonight that Jen ended up bringing to my attention as something that she desperately needed in the moment. So I built those this morning. And that was, where is it here? A file correction letter and a monthly income status report.
Okay.
So those were built this morning and they will be released later on tonight.
Okay. Okay. And you're releasing that tonight?
Yep.
All right. Do you ever stop? Wow.
No.
I know you don't. I know. And And you can't be admonished. You can't be scolded. That just none of that ever works. You just go. You are the Energizer Bunny.
Well, Jen ended up messaging me and saying that, you know, like she hasn't worked enough since February to have a pay stub, right? Because she ended up burning herself out and hasn't been able to go to work. And I guess AISH has been sitting on their hands and hasn't given her any money because they're saying, well, you need to have a pay stub. Well, she doesn't have any because she hasn't been working, like a bunch of idiots, right? So I just ended up going through the AISH handbook because I'm a brat that way, right? I'm going to quote their own policy back to them because obviously a lot of these people haven't been trained properly or know what their own policies and procedures are supposed to be. So I put those into 2 documents to support her and her current fight. And I made sure that she knew that like there's none of anybody's individual information. When I build the forms, they will work for everyone. So the forms that she came to me, well, she didn't come to me and say, hey, can you build these forms? She just kind of told me what her predicament was. And I thought, hey, I can turn that into a form where people can use it.
Right.
Like I usually do. And yeah, so I'll be releasing those to the app and to the Facebook group later on tonight. I didn't want to bombard too many people with things.
No, I get you. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to help. And when I say we, I mean Chantal is doing so much for people out there. And of course, I'm here too for any help you may or assistance you may need. My strengths are my strengths, Chantal's are hers. And I think that's why we do so well together. But we're here to help you. And any way in which we can do that, we will do that. We can't do everything for you because we wouldn't have strength in every area. And we're 2 people at the moment. 2 people, not 4. We're 2 people at the moment. And but in so much as we can help, we do help. And because we have to help. And we should, you know, we need to come to you as well. You know what I mean? That's your strength, right? You have something. You're here to help. And
like even if people aren't sure what forms they need or what documents will strengthen their voice, that's why we've got the campaign email address. That's why I've got the Facebook group. You know, send me a message, send me an email. I'll get back to you. There's no automated. We'll get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. I'm live right here watching my inbox. So, and I'll get back to you with exactly what you need. I'll send you the forms through email and you'll have it. And if you need help filling them out, I'm here for that too. So.
Right. In terms of Neudorf, I mean, do we just stamp douchebag of the week on his forehead, or is there any other thing that we can? I mean, let's just run down the list of what we're dealing with now. Neudorf, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, is the dude that just took over the ALLS. Is that right?
The Assisted Living and Social Services.
ALSS. Took it off of Jason Nixon's hands as of last weekend, and they have promoted the king of all douches. So the guy that actually implanted or imported ADAP, he's just got a promotion. So just so you know, the shittier you are in politics, the higher and the quicker you rise. This is politics, ladies and gentlemen. So can we summarize Neudorf in a few sentences, do you think?
We could definitely try. Puppet really suits his character. He will do basically anything that he's told without any kind of conscience. So yeah, definitely not an individual that I would want dealing with the most vulnerable of the population. And actually, I'm wondering if I can turn my camera on. Probably not. Hang on. I think that about sums him up.
I can't see that. It's too blurry.
Oh.
I don't think we can. Yeah.
I'll have to send you the picture that I used.
Yeah. Yeah, send it to me. I could probably put it up on the screen here.
Doing that in like 3 seconds.
So yeah.
Sent.
Okay. Let me grab that. Do you want to talk to the people just for a sec? I'll grab that. Let me see. Can I try again? Yes, of course I can. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and talk to the people for a second. I'll get this together. Pam is back in the chat, I see. And I hope Pam's doing good. How you doing, Pam? You're thinking about July 1st? We need you, sister. We need you. What you thinking about? What you thinking about? I mean, my God, Pam being there, what a blessing. What a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Pam being with me Tuesdays and Fridays, I can't tell you what that's doing to this project here. Literally astounding. Literally astounding.
Everybody needs a partner in crime.
Well, you do, and Pam is it's the perfect criminal for me. She's amazing. Simply amazing. Right, Pam? Yeah, when I'm right, I'm right. And I think I'm right. And let me just browse on desktop. Yeah, if you want to talk to the people, I'm just
trying to see if there's anything that really came up.
Oh, there we go. All right. I'll just go, okay. And then oops, I'm going to come back to us for a second. I guess I can't do that. So this is the picture you were talking about, yes?
YouTube.
It's on the screen right now. Proposed AISH-to-ADAP transfer. Cut deeper, faster, don't stop. Jason Nixon. Cutting AISH payments. Nathan Neudorf, former finance minister. Oh, so he was the finance minister?
Yeah.
So he moved from finance to ALSS, and Nixon moved from ALSS to finance minister?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would they do that? Like, what is that?
I don't know.
Like, why
we could speculate. We could speculate, but I don't know. I don't know what the heck these guys are thinking.
Yeah, I mean, if they're swapping wives, I wonder, or if they're swapping jobs, I wonder. Yeah, no, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they just? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I really couldn't. None of what they're doing makes any sense.
Well, of course, it never does. Never does.
Yeah. And of course, when I redid, or when I did Neudorf's breakdown there, his bio, I had to update Nixon's, and I'll send you his picture. I ended up doing because it makes so much sense. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are these guys like? I don't get it. I don't get why they would just shift each other's. I don't get it. I do not understand.
No. The only thing that I can think of is it's part of their no accountability clause, right? So things were getting heavy for Nixon, and instead of actually dealing with a lot of the constituents that were coming back and saying, hey, you know what, let's look at this, we have questions. It was, well, let's trade ministers, and then of course it's going to take Neudorf a while to catch up on what exactly is happening, because it's a new desk and nobody's going to get the answers that they originally submitted to Nixon, because they're basically going through the shredder.
Right. Yeah. yeah. I really don't get it. I really don't understand it. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna
But I thought that picture of Nixon there that I came up with was like spot on.
All right, well, here's this.
Mr. High and Mighty.
Here's this, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to see this. There you go. All right. Right, so you got the CDB clawback sucking machine. It's not a gun, right? It's sucking the money back in. So it's kind of like a glorified vacuum cleaner, taking every bit of your money from you. Just the way the Alberta government has done to the middle class since the mid-'80s through the Heritage Fund. You're no different, ladies and gentlemen. You're just getting screwed differently. That's all. And so, yeah, I can't read everything on here, but a lot of shredding going on. A lot of sucking.
That's the recipient communications. So help requests, medical needs, vulnerable persons, urgent support, and human dignity. And that's going through the shredder into Nathan Neudorf's little bin there.
Yeah, and look at all that
And
gold.
then there's, oh yeah, well, because he's the new finance minister, right?
Right. Yeah, gold. Gold.
Yeah.
I want
And then
gold.
if you notice, just next to his right arm there and his big watch, it says mustard seed pension. That's going to be some food for thought.
Okay. Yeah. The whole thing is, and speaking of food, I think he could probably lay off, personally. That's what I think. Yeah, quite interesting. Well, I'm just going to minimize that here so I don't have to screw around with it. Yeah, quite something. Quite something. And so this is the artwork in which Chantal has created and procured. And, you know, we have some fun on this show. You know, it's not all just all serious. You know, we have to laugh. We have to laugh, otherwise we'd start crying. So, you know, there are moments of levity here, and we need that. We need that in our lives. You know, and I think that's why we fight as hard as we do as well, Chantal, is because we should be laughing. You know, we should be tiptoeing through tulips and running through a field of daisies. We shouldn't have to be putting up with this shit from our government. And as a matter of fact, that extends all the way to the middle class. None of us should be suffering the way we are today, or afraid of our lives, or this precarious, or this close to the edge. Nobody.
No.
Right?
So I did end up writing a note on regards to the shuffle. This was in Nixon's new biography that I host. So on May 21st, 2026, so the day before our Friday protest there, Danielle Smith announced a cabinet shuffle following the resignations of the then Finance Minister Nate Horner and then Minister Matt Jones. Both of whom announced they would not seek re-election in 2027 on the same day. Jason Nixon was promoted from Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services to President of Treasury Board and Minister of Finance. Nathan Neudorf was moved from Minister of Affordability and Utilities to Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services, inheriting the AISH to ADAP file. So the mandatory AISH to ADAP transition was scheduled to take effect July 1st, 2026. And at this point, it was 41 days. I think we're at 28 now. The minister did not leave the AISH to ADAP file. He was promoted into control. So that's Nixon was promoted into control of the budget that funds it. What a kick in the pants that is. As finance or as Minister of Finance and President of Treasury, that's going to go right to his head, even though it doesn't need to get any bigger. He is now responsible for the fiscal parameters governing the program he designed during his tenure as Minister of Assisted Living and Social Services. The succession is documented in the framed photo on the bookshelf in the editorial cartoon accompanying this document in the Government of Alberta's May 21st, 2026 Cabinet swearing in record and in CBC News's reporting that same day.
Saying what?
Just on his succession.
Right. Yeah, his promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a documented source is what I'm basically getting at.
Right.
It's not hearsay. He was actually, sworn in, that was it.
Right.
So this document records the public conduct of the new finance minister during his prior ministerial tenure, because, I can't let that rest, and pre-political career, because, your past follows you like a shadow. It is the companion to the Do You Know Your New Minister, a documented public record of Nathan Neudorf, also released May 2026. Together, the two documents establish the public record of the two officials directly responsible for the policy and budget of the AISH-to-ADAP transition.
Interesting. Interesting.
So, and of course, then I have the whole breakdown of everything after that. So all the way up to his being reassigned or whatever, his promotion.
Right. Somebody just sent me something, I don't know, in a message, the Rudy Bruce podcast. I don't know what the hell. Donations are needed for the Rudy Bruce podcast. Yeah, why don't you bug somebody else with that shit? By e-transfer to whatever, together we can make a big difference. Well, together they can maybe fill your pants with some dough, dude, but I don't give a shit. Sorry, I have no time for that. Why don't you just do a good thing for people? Can you do that? Yeah, once again, everybody wants to make a dime, don't they? I mean, is it not,
that's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, right. I've heard that too. Certainly haven't experienced it, but I know what happens to me when I do experience it. So, it's quite amazing to me that it's not enough just to make a buck anymore. And think about what's happening on the side of the disabled now, right? It's not just about making a little bit more of a buck. It's about making a buck off the backs of the most destitute, needy, and deserving people in your province. And now they want to. I mean, when are we going to stop, ladies and gentlemen? Like this whole ethos of influencer and I need money and help me start my. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're doing a podcast. Cost me $60 to do it. Well, and an expensive computer, but I had that. So, you know what I mean, though. We don't need money, man. We need to help people, and in helping people, I don't think people recognize the fact that when you help somebody, ultimately that comes back to you, not by some mystery of the universe, but because if we, the two of us, help 80,000 people, that will help us. You see what I mean? So we can be benefactors of another's success by just helping and not demanding or not being needy or wanting, more than it is what our allotment is by nature, right? And we get all these people, and this is Neudorf, this is Nixon, this is whatever the hell her name is, I can never remember. Yeah, thanks. All of them, right? And we didn't meet those people at the protest on Friday. We met really genuine, amazing people that are willing to come down and buy a bus ticket out of their own money or Uber or whatever. And because they care for other people, they just simply care. And that's the paradigm I think we're moving into, right? And a paradigm where we're all taken care of, where we don't need to to worry. But that's not coming without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what Chantal is doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what the Riley Park protest on the 29th is, with nurses and the working class and the disabled class all coming together, of which there are probably 150,000 strong, to get our money back, to get our lives back, to get our peace of mind back, so that we can live in a world that is, I hate to say the word, that is equitable for all of us. And all of these things that Chantal is doing are also explaining just how much other people have and what they're not entitled to. And I met Jason Nixon on Friday. He's a dick, like a total douche. Do you think he's deserving of the money he gets? Not as far as I'm concerned. Not as far as anybody in that crowd was concerned. He didn't even do his job. He didn't even stop to talk to the people, which is the only job. You only had one job. And you couldn't even do that right. So, yeah. Do we need to go after these people? Hell yeah. Damn right we do.
Well, they have a lot of answers that need to be articulated, because there are a lot of questions, like a lot of questions flying around that we haven't gotten the answers to yet, and they just keep on trickling those little crumbs there out to the community, and everybody snatching them, grabbing them, holding them, going, okay, this is it. But with the forensic breakdown that I did of the consultation and engagement page, it doesn't look good for us. So
yeah,
they're going back and they're removing evidence, and they're, stopping the Wayback Machine and changing the narrative, and everybody's just kind of going along with it, and there's been no accountability, and that's what people need to start demanding. So,
right. This is the time your government spends on your dime doing your work, is to stop the Wayback Machine from recording any further acknowledgement of anything they may produce in terms of internet proliferation, so they can't be captured on the Wayback Machine. So there's no way for you to apprehend anything that they may have screwed up on. This is what you're paying for. You're paying for the government to screw you. This is how they spend their time. And this is what we're fighting against. This is what we're fighting back about. I mean, goddamn it, do your job. If I walked into a studio and played drums the way these people do politics, I'd be fired in a fucking second. Nobody would put up with that from me. Nobody. I have to walk in. I have to know what I'm doing. I have to sit down without ever hearing that song in my life, and within less than an hour, play it like I've known it my whole life. That's proper work ethic. That's right now. That's get the job done. Why don't we demand that from politics? The most important part of our life in terms of our safety and our security and our livelihood.
Yeah. Because if everybody looked at it from like a business standpoint, and let's say you are the employer in this instance, okay, and you've employed a political group to do a job. They haven't done it. Are you really going to keep paying them for not doing their job?
Well, no, I'm going to fire them.
Exactly.
Right. And that's
just good business.
That's my question is, that's my question is, when are we going to start treating politicians the way they're actually asking us to treat them? Like my kids, when my kids were growing up and they were bad, I'd say, look, I don't tell you how to act. I only respond to what you give me. You know what I mean? So if you give me something that I know that you're not supposed to do, then you have activated my response. And my kids know that, and our government doesn't know that. So who's the child here? It's about time we stood up, really, and started treating children the way children should be treated. But we don't see them like that. We see them as celebrities. We see them as oohs and ahs. Well, I'm sorry. I've been in the music industry my whole life, and nobody impresses me anymore. Nobody. Pam impresses me. Chantal impresses me. But Elton John be damned, I couldn't give a shit. I don't give a shit about celebrity anymore. I care about the people. And once we get that in our thick heads and we start treating children like children, we will start to make that change. When we're no longer afraid of the boogeyman under the bed. Right? It's time, ladies and gentlemen. It really is time to stand up and to be counted. Because, you know, once again, these children can continue to wreck your life like a bad kid at Safeway, jumping on the fucking floor and ruining your life, you know, your moment of just getting Kraft fucking dinner off the shelf. Or you can put that child in their place and you can engage for your own sake. You could show them who's boss. Ooh, I'm preaching now. Glory to God. So are we done with Neudorf? Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're done with that.
So we could stamp douchebag of the week on that guy's forehead. Yeah, good.
No, he doesn't seem to really know what is happening with the ADAP thing. Like I had heard of him, because I think it was Mike from Lethbridge that sent me the op-ed that the Neudorf ended up putting out, and I emailed him right away with corrections. So yeah, he's gonna get used to hearing from me.
Right. Had he released the op-ed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, once again, you know, it's just media doing
the government's work. Yeah.
Doing the business of government. I mean, Jesus. Once again, when are we gonna have enough? I've had enough. I personally had enough. I've been insulted too much to the core of my very being, and I'm hoping other people out there are starting to feel the same way. And starting to realize how important they are, how important their lives are. Your life is as important as Jason Nixon's. And personally, it's probably more important because you wouldn't hurt people, which gives you another form of importance in the life of the polis, the demos, the people. Right? Yeah. What do you think? What time are we looking at? We're looking at, we're going on 3 hours now. I think we're good. You know?
I think so. We'll be back on tomorrow anyway.
We'll be back on tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, protest tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Noon at the Calgary City Hall at noon. Tomorrow, I believe, well, today was 27 degrees in Calgary, man. So I can't see tomorrow being any worse. Please come down. Share the moment with us. We would love to have you there. I am now looking at a few properties, subsidized, of course, almost like 2 blocks from City Hall. And I believe I'm right in the right area now. I believe I need to be there. I need to be going to the, you know, the viewing thing in City Hall more and just sitting there, taking notes, observing ignorance, and calling it out. So I'm going to be doing more of that. And hopefully I procure one of these fine bachelor studio units. We'll see. And
my fingers are crossed for you.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that because, you know, autonomy is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that's one of the things that we're losing is our autonomy, our ability to have our own life on our own terms. And no one should ever take that from you. No father, no mother, no government should ever take from you the life in which nature entitles you to have. So we fight, and we fight hard, and we fight every day, at least 5 days a week, and Chantal 7. So I'm going to work out tonight because I've worked out since Wednesday. So I'm going to have me a little exercise. That's what I'm doing.
Gonna work off all that garlic sausage. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm having that again tonight. I just got to figure out what I'm going to pair it with this evening. And Chantal, you're amazing. You really are. I know I talk my ass off sometimes, but and I probably forget to tell you that, but you know, ladies and gentlemen, we're in good hands here. I want you to know that. So thank you for the day.
Oh, I'm not gonna stop. My job's not over yet. And then anybody looking for the documents or the app link that leads you to everywhere, it's in the video description, just on the bottom here.
Okay. Right. In the description, right?
Yeah.
And you know, lest I forget, you know, I want to give a shout out to Pam, just an amazing woman that everyone should meet. My two new friends. Chantal, go ahead. My two new friends.
Adam and Yasmin.
Adam and Yasmin. See, I know that, but like, you know, Yasmin, you and I are so much alike because I can't remember shit. So, Yasmin and Adam, two amazing people that are going to be down at the protest tomorrow. Pam has probably got a friend that she's bringing out. Joey may be there. And then we are just going to allow the doors to flood open with a new breed and brand of individual that wants to come down and stand with us in all love to show our government that we're taking it back. That's what we have to do. We have to take government back. We have to take government back. And the only way we're going to do that is to start collectivizing and stand together. And once we become strong enough and as much people as it would take to do it, then we will achieve the goal that everyone wants and nobody's willing to work for. So I ask you to come down and support yourself. You don't have to support me. I'm a big guy. Well, I'm short, but you know, stocky. And you know, and I'm 60 years old. I don't really need anybody to support me, except in the basic human ways of love and respect. And that's what we do every Tuesday and Friday. We come down there to hate on systems and love on people.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will bid you adieu. Chantal, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Another great expose, shall we say? And
yep, and lots of stuff going to be hitting the app and everything live tonight. So if you're if you're on the mailing list, you'll get the email.
Yeah. Where could people go to get that?
To the app. So the link that's in the bio there that says read the documents. At the very bottom of the page, there is a sign up type of newsletter thing where you put in your email address and you can subscribe, and that's where the updates come from.
But it's very simple and very easy, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can subscribe and then you can unsubscribe with one click. So
right. And you can get the app, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It works as a web browser, but it's mobile, like it works on mobile and it works on computer. So it's very versatile.
Right. And it takes nothing to sign up. Pretty much a click of a button, right?
Yeah. And you don't have to sign up either. It's just you access it if you want to, you know, put in for your for the updates or whatever. That's up to you. If you don't, then you don't have to.
Oh,
but it leads you to everywhere.
So you don't even have to sign up.
No.
Right.
There's no paywall. There's no donation request. There's no nothing. It's just a free library for whoever wants it.
Right. So she's not looking for your firstborn, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to this. You basically just go to the website or the app itself, and that's it. You're on, you're in, and you do your thing. And all the information that we discuss on this podcast is readily available on the app. And so much more than we've ever been able to get to in terms of information is on the app. And that's basically, I don't know, it's becoming, this podcast is discussing the app because everything is there, right? And so we just really bring in real time to you, the people, things that Chantal has already formulated and put into um, a cogent electronic device for your own leisure and benefit. So, Chantal, that's amazing. Tomorrow we probably, I mean, you know, like
We'll
there are
pick
no,
something.
well, there are no slow news days these days, you know.
No,
You know.
no, I'll be doing a crawl across the internet again tonight to see if there's anything new that's dropped in relation to what I've already amassed. Because I do that every night at around 9 o'clock. I check to see if there's anything new day to day. So
Right. Right. And so we will be bringing you more information, and who knows, in a news cycle like this, it's kind of like Calgary weather. Just wait 15 minutes, and everything will change. So we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, coming on here. We appreciate the time that you give to yourself, not to us, but to you. And that's the only reason we're doing it. If I wasn't doing this, and if this consideration had not come down, I'd probably be doing my, art podcast and, going after all the NGOs that are sucking the life out of all musicians and artists in this city. But this took precedent over anything. And the fact that the blessing to come out of this is meeting my co-host. And I couldn't have been happier, and life couldn't have been more serendipitous in that moment. So I am extremely thankful. I have a lot to be thankful for, and you don't have to be thankful for what you don't have to be thankful for, and that would include AISH, or a bad bean burrito. So, uh, so at that, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu. Chantal, thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely. I'll keep on plugging away and plucking those chickens.
That's right. Chicken plucker. She's a
Yep.
chicken plucker. And we'll see you tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, at 6 p.m. And until that, be safe and be well and courage.